Peter, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to start maybe at the beginning because I think one thing that we always see is that buyers get excited and they want to go house hunting and, you know, they're working with what they've got. They have the inspiration to go find homes, but maybe they need to draw it back a little bit and really take part in step one, which is the pre-approval process. Is that something that you could explain to us?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. A lot of times clients get that urgency to want to go out and start looking at homes before they've actually gone through the process of getting pre-approved. One of the things that they obviously should do is speak to a loan officer, somebody credible, somebody that's been in the industry for quite some time. And what I like to do is I like to go over some of the what their experience is. Are they first-time home buyers or have they had an experience in the past with buying a home or maybe with a family member? So it's really important to listen and find out what their goals are, what their current situation is, credit, income, and so forth. So once I go through a couple of questions and kind of find out what their level of experience is and where they are with everything, at that point then we want to get into the approval process, and that's taking a full application. And I give my clients a few options from either taking it over the phone, we can certainly do it over online, or even setting up an appointment and taking a full application. And this will allow me to evaluate their credit, their work history, their income situation and asset situation, and evaluate the full picture and see what they could qualify for based on their income and liabilities that show up on their credit report.
Okay, how long do you think that process takes? Like, how long does it take you to come to those numbers, and how long does it take the clients to really put together the necessary paperwork? Is this a hard process? Is this?
No, not at all. I mean, the initial process, again, is taking the application, and with that, I'll analyze their scenario. You know, I'll review their income, review the credit and their liabilities. If we're meeting, I'm assuming that they're bringing their documentation. Things to prepare for would be the last 2 years of their W-2s, 1 month of their most recent pay stubs, their bank statements for the down payment and closing costs that they're going to use. And then again, we'll have the credit report right in front of us. And with all that, the process shouldn't take more than 15, 20 minutes.
Oh,
maybe a little longer
fast.
maybe a little longer if there's questions. And typically with a first-time home buyer, there's a lot of questions. You know, what can I afford? You know, what are the options as far as programs that are available? The number one question, what are your interest rates? So we go through all of that, you know, carefully.
Okay, great. What is your advice for someone looking for the best mortgage?
Number one thing is to work with somebody, a company that's credible and trustworthy. Very important that they've got a good reputation. You know, guaranteed rate has a 96% customer satisfaction rating. Okay. So it's very important to have that. And also a company that has several options and programs available for a client. Again, if you have a first-time home buyer, making sure that they have a no down payment program. That can work with a client that it doesn't have exactly perfect credit, things of that nature. Right. And then, of course, lowest price, because it's not always interest rate. I know, again, that number one question is, what is your interest rate? What is your interest rate? I mean, the interest rates, all companies could offer the same interest rates. But again, it's what's the level of service that they're going to provide, as well as the closing costs and what it's going to cost to get that particular interest rate that they're interested in.
Right. Now, you mentioned not having necessarily a lot of money to put down. That's a question that I get a lot. So in keeping with our show's theme of making the most of what you have, or maybe in this case, what you don't have, are there options, or should people who don't have a lot to put down, if you don't have 20%, should you not be shopping for a house? Or?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Actually, this year there's been quite a few programs that have come out. Government programs that allow you to do 100% financing. Okay. As a matter of fact, there's also programs where they'll allow you to even roll in some of those closing costs. If that's not a situation or a program that we could fit you into, there's also other programs where you could have a relative gift you the money for the down payment, as little as 3% down, 5% down, or like I mentioned, the 100% no money down program.
Right. Do you see people taking advantage of those kinds of opportunities, or?
Absolutely. We see a lot of clients asking for those type of programs, which is great, and it's wonderful that we have those options for clients. You know, to experience the to be a first-time home buyer and own our own home and get out of renting.
Right. Absolutely. All right, what about the whole credit situation? If someone has credit that is kind of lower or not what they expected it was, maybe they were surprised to find out that their credit wasn't so high. What do you do when you discover that for a client?
Sure. Well, we sit down, and first thing that I want to do is evaluate their credit report with them. Make sure there aren't things on their credit report that don't belong to them. A lot of times you'll see that if you have, father, son that have the same exact name, some reason a couple of their credit cards may show up on their credit report. So want to analyze that, make sure that there isn't any misinformation in there that doesn't belong to them. And if it's small things that, I've had clients where they missed it by 6 or 7 points or 10 points, there's some small things that we can do to boost up the credit report. So we'll certainly put a plan together, find out what we need to do to boost up their credit by those 6 or 7 points. If it's something a little bit more complicated, maybe there was a bankruptcy and they're going to have to wait till that bankruptcy has that it's gone through and they're qualified to purchase at that point. Then again, we'll discuss what that target date is to get back. Or if it's a little bit more complicated, we also work with companies that will put them on path to come back and hopefully in 6 to 12 months and be qualified to purchase a home at that point.
Okay.
So there's several different options.
So really, you do more than just get someone a loan. You kind of look at where they need to be and like the next steps for them and help them to understand the process.
Absolutely, put them on the right path. Answer their questions. Again, it's a big investment for them, so you want to make sure that they understand the process, understand what they're getting themselves into, what's required for a down payment. And again, listening to what their final, what their goals are. I like to usually give them several options as far as programs and what the monthly payment is. And a lot of times the clients know where they feel comfortable with. They don't want to spend more than $1,500 a month because maybe that was close to what they had for a rental payment. So we'll work the math backwards and let them know how much home they would be looking at to purchase.
Right, that's excellent. Thank you so much. If someone else has a question about their loan or potential rates, could they contact you? Do you have a way that people can reach out to you?
Absolutely. They can give me a call on my cell phone at 860-913-7486 or my email address, which is peter.marques, MARQUES, @guaranteedrate.com.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for meeting with us.
Thank you, Erica, for having me.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for watching Real Estate Resource. And if you have any questions about the show or comments or ideas for future shows, you can also contact me at epopick@yahoo.com, or you can give me a call at 860-490-0166. And I look forward to seeing you next time.